Pulled off another 4-0 sweep with our Week 10 NFL combo video, and we're now 15-1 in our last 4 NFL combos. We're covering another 2 games today, both 1 p.m. Eastern kickoff, starting with the Panthers and the Falcons, where we'll bring you a side and a player prop. Then we'll move on to Bills Buccaneers, where we have a total and a player prop. I'm Steve Seagrave from Sports Memo and Picks and Parlays, and I am in action for Week 11. We have a 5% NFL max bet package. We're 7-4 with those plays so far this season. We've pulled in a profit in 6 of our last 9 weeks, and I'll be attaching all my plays, sides, totals, and player props to that package, along with any look-aheads that I might have for Monday Night Football. If you guys enjoyed this content, hit that like button for me if you would. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And drop those Week 11 NFL picks in the comment section. Let me know if you agree or disagree with the 4 plays that I have in this video. And I'll check those comments and respond back to you guys. So yeah, awesome sweep with Week 10. In our combo video, we had 8 chain, over 30.5 receiving yards. He crushes it with 51. We had a Jackson Hawes sprinkle on an anytime touchdown at plus 740. He scores again. We had the Patriots plus 2.5. They get the job done against Tampa. And then we had the Bucs team total under 26.5, and they only scored 23. So that was a great sweep. Back-to-back weeks now. And like I said, we've only had 1 loss now. We've put out 4 picks per video in our last 4, if you include the Jackson Hawes sprinkle play. But regardless, 15-1, 14-1, whatever you want to call it, it's a great run. We're going to look to carry it on to today. Starting off with the Falcons minus 3.5 at home in a rematch against the Panthers. Total sitting at 41.5. Atlanta's 3-6 now, after a 31-25 OT loss to the Colts. Carolina 5-5 after a 17-7 loss against New Orleans. And this is an interesting one after Week 3, where surprisingly Carolina smashed the Falcons. Not surprising necessarily that they won at home, but just the fact that they beat them 30-0. I'm sure the Falcons have had this game circled on their calendar for the past couple of months now. My first play for this game, we're going to look towards the Falcons. We'll lay the 3.5. Hopefully maybe we can get a 3. Maybe if it gets closer to game time, I'd like that obviously much better because we'd get the push on the field goal. But like I said, this is a revenge spot, critical divisional game. Falcons are going to be locked and loaded for this one. We've talked about this in the past before when we've covered Panthers games. Bryce Young he's won a couple now on the road this season. Not quite as bad as he had been in the past, but he's still 3-17 straight up on the road in his career. And I didn't include the ATS because this is pretty close to a pick'em, relatively close to a pick'em. Atlanta's had the harder schedule. They've had the 11th hardest schedule thus far, while Carolina's had the 30th easiest schedule. So they've had much easier sledding so far this season. And then we got an interesting trend here. Teams coming off of an international game without a bye, so that basically the 7 days rest, are actually 19-11, and that's the Falcons here. They're 19-11 straight up. I like the Falcons here a lot playing at home. I think they get the job done. Bryce Young playing on the road. It is not the toughest environment because he's not outdoors or anything like that, but I still think this is a nice spot for the Falcons, especially if we can get them at -3. So that'll be my first play for the video. And then this is a play from my Anytime Touchdown video that I do over at Wager Talk. I'm going to go to Bijan Robinson here. A little juicy at -130 to score an anytime touchdown. Got that line over at DK, and he's only scored in 4 of 9 games. But he seems overly due for one, as he hasn't scored now in any of his last 3 games. Tyler Algier has taken over a bunch of red zone work from him. Inside the 10-yard line, Algier has 13 carries compared to Robinson's 5. But I see this could be a spot here where Bijan busts one. He has had some good success in yardage games against Carolina, and he has scored in 3 of 5 games head-to-head against them as well, with 5 total touchdowns, a couple of multi-touchdown games over the past couple of seasons. Atlanta offensive line has been really good. They're just outside the top 5 as far as a run block grade, according to PFF. Then the Carolina defensive line, they're bottom 5 in run defense success rate. So this is a spot where the Falcons can beat them in the trenches, at least offensively. And I hate to keep harping on the revenge spot, but 30-0 loss in Week 3. Falcons are going to look to put it on them here. I don't think they take their foot off the gas pedal if they have a chance to score some touchdowns later in the game, even if they're leading. So give me Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown at -130. Let's move on to our second game here. We got Buffalo -5.5 at the recording of this video, total of 46. Another situation where we have both teams coming off losses like in the first game that we just covered. Buffalo coming off that embarrassing loss in Miami, 30-13. Tampa Bay, no shame in losing to New England, as almost everyone has in the past couple of months. They held their own 28-23. They could get a little bit of help here as Bucky Irvin could return from injury, but the wide receiver core is still depleted. Mike Evans out for quite a while. Godwin still on the shelf as well. But Buffalo's dealing with some injuries of their own. Their defensive line is decimated. Part of the reason why A-Chain was able to run and catch passes all over the field in their last head-to-head game. And they have some injuries on offense as well, as their tight end Kincaid and Shakir, their wide receiver Shakir, both questionable. I don't think Kincaid plays. And that'll play into a play that we'll touch on later. But yeah, they're dealing with some injuries themselves. We'll also have some weather in this one. We're going to have some rain. But light wind, so I think this is a higher scoring game in my opinion, despite the fact that we've seen the total drop actually in this one in recent days. So the first, I want to cover a quick couple of trends here. Josh Allen, 6-3 ATS after a double-digit loss in his career. And he's covered the spread in the game after these losses by an average of 11.4 points per game. So this is a great bounce-back spot here for the Bills. But Baker Mayfield, 17-7 ATS as a dog after a straight-up loss. So this makes it a tough prediction for me on the side. I really don't have much of an opinion on that. But I do see a higher scoring game, and I like the Bills team total in particular, over 26.5. Like I said, I like the full game over as well, and part of that is I think the Bucs can push the scoring and keep the Bills interested in putting up points on the board. I like the fact that we get this under 27 and under 28. A couple of key numbers there. So Bills team total over 26.5. They cleared it in 6 of 9 games this season. They've scored 30-plus in 5 of 9 games this season. This is still a very good offense, even though we've seen them struggle recently. At home, they're even better. They've gone over this line in 4 of 5 games, where they've scored 30-plus per game at home as well. Bucs defense dealing with a bunch of injuries. Vita Vea does not look like he's going to play here. Hassan Reddick, Antoine Winfield Jr., all questionable. And this Tampa Bay Bucs defense has struggled to put pressure on the quarterback despite their high blitz rate. And if you're going to let Josh Allen sit back there, even if he's missing a couple of weapons, if he can sit back there and pick you apart, he's going to do it, especially in home games. And like we said, we covered those trends already with Allen. A nice bounce back spot when he's coming off a double-digit loss here. So first play on this game, give me Bills team total over 26.5. And then we're going right back to the long shot play here on Jackson Hawes. This was also part of my anytime touchdown video this week. Last week we cashed him at plus 740. This week only plus 500, but still a nice 5-1 return. Like I said, Kincaid, I don't think he's playing here, and I think Shakir potentially could be limited as well, as he's listed as questionable. We've seen Hawes have 7 targets in the last 3 games. Doesn't seem like a ton, But considering he only had 4 targets in the first 6 games, that's quite an increase in the targets. And it just seems like Allen's getting more and more comfortable with him as a safety blanket. And now Kincaid, he managed to score last week with Kincaid on the field for some of the game. And now this week, I don't expect him to be out there. So this could be a great spot here. Tampa Bay's only allowed 4 tight end touchdowns on the year, but they haven't faced a ton of high-end tight ends. When they faced Dallas Goedert, he scored twice against them. He has been a touchdown machine so far this season, but we've already covered these injuries on the prior play. Vea, Reddick, Winfield Jr., all questionable, and like I said, I don't think Vea plays, which makes it even harder for them to put pressure on the quarterback here. And with the rain and slight winds, I see Allen using Hawes as a safety blanket. So that'll be our 4th and final play for the video. And that'll be a sprinkle play, obviously, plus 500. I wouldn't go and put a unit on that like the other 3 plays that I back as official plays. So 4 plays for the video. We got Atlanta minus 3.5. We got a Bijan Robinson anytime touchdown minus 130. We have the Bills team total over 26.5. And let's go back to the tight end, Jackson Hawes, for another anytime touchdown sprinkle at plus 500. Guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And I have a great offer to share with you that we're running over at Sports Memo and Picks and Parlays. You get 7 days all access, all sports, including 5%ers for $69. Obviously breaks down to a little bit less than $10 per day. That's $30 off of the normal price. I like this one a lot. There's also still the Weekend Warrior Pass, where you can get all of my football, including college football on Saturday and Monday Night Football. So 3 days of football for $49. That's a great one if you're looking for football only. But if you're looking for all access, where you get my NBA, my NHL, and college football. Speaking of those sports, college football play of the week is on a 4-2 run. NBA has not been where I want it to be, but I'm confident. We had a great regular season last year where we went number 1 in the regular season for plus 73 units. Then NHL, that's been where it's at so far for us this year, as we've gone 14-5, number 2 right now over at Sports Memo, and I'm in the top 5 over at Picks and Parlays as well. But anyway, guys, check out those special promos that I just shared with you. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit the like button if you did. Drop a comment if you would. And I'll see you next week. Let's pull out that broom again and just keep this insane video run going. Good luck, guys.